And good evening, everybody. How you doing? My turn to go live. I hope you guys are having a good evening. Hope everything's going well. Um, I am going to just normally we just do freewheeling. We do. I'm going to go ahead and look at some topics that I saw in the newest Substack Midas Touch letter that they sent out, and just pick up a couple things I think we need to discuss about some recent stuff, some stuff about him, about what's going on. First of all, I want to congratulate those who are Philadelphia Eagle fans. Congratulations. You are now champions, and you took down the reigning champions, Kansas City Chiefs, Donald Trump's favorite team. Yeah, the Lamar family is extreme Trumpers. So, and we know about Buckner and all the rest of them. It's an interesting dynamic, and I'm glad they won. And I want to welcome everyone who's popping up. I'm going to look for a couple guests in a minute. I want to read a couple things here and just kind of get everything going and see how this rolls. I appreciate everyone showing up. And let's see what we can do tonight just to kind of keep the resistance going. A couple of things that I've seen. If you haven't subscribed to the Midas Touch Substack, I recommend it. They do send out a daily political update, Today in Politics bulletin, written by Ron Filiposky, who's really good. So a couple of things here. First thing I want to talk about, that the president, that Trump and Elon Musk are still holding back money, even though a court has told him, hey, you got to release it, but they're not doing it. The other night on Saturday, or I think it was on a Sunday show, J.D. Vance said that the executive branch does not have to cater to any kind of anything from the judicial branch, which is insane, totally unfucking constitutional. But this is what happens when you got a man who thinks he's king. Musk has said Musk is running rampant. But he's also afraid for his life. He didn't fly to a conference in Miami last week due to death threats. He spoke at a J.P. Morgan Chase conference remotely and told the group he decided not to appear in person because he received a lot of death threats recently. Not saying that anything happened to him, but what was it? What were on those shows? Deny, defend, depose. Just saying. Moving on. Trump went to the Super Bowl, and they asked him on the plane who was going to win, and his quote was, I have to say, when a quarterback has won as much as he won, I have to go with KC. I have to go with KC. KC got a curb stomp. Another example, whatever Trump touches. He was booed at the Super Bowl, although he's claiming that Taylor Swift was booed and he was cheered. The booing was because he said they booed him because of Biden, because Taylor Swift supported Biden. But there were Philly fans, and Philly fans don't play, and that's basically what it is. The gentleman who sang the national anthem, John Batiste, was fired by the Kennedy Center board by Trump. Quick note about that. Trump was asked during the plane flight over, why did he want to be chairman of the Kennedy Center? And you know what he said? He said, because the shows are lousy and the shows are bad. Someone asked him, have you ever been to a show at the Kennedy Center? His answer, no. Welcome to the upside down world. So Trump is getting rid of pennies. Pennies will no longer be made under his administration. Yay. The penny is obsolete, blah, 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 whatever. Now, here's the thing that was really fun. First things first, those of you who saw the Super Bowl halftime show, and hi, everybody. Um, and I'm going to ask for guests. If you want to be a guest, hit me up in just a minute. Um, MAGA was very upset. They were upset because Trump wasn't on every other shot in the TV. He wasn't there whenever for filling the TV for them. Also, they were very, very upset about the Kendrick Lamar um, performance. Um, they hated it. Charlie Kirk, the music is not my style. Lauren Berber, tell me I'm not the only one needing subtitles for this. Jack Pobesic, DEI halftime show. DEI is Jim Crow. Look up my video. Mike Collins, embrace tradition. Then he posted a photo of Creed performing. Creed, yeah, whatever. Ted Nugent, Kendrick Lamar, you suck. Yeah, right, dude. You couldn't have 1/3 the talent of Kendrick Lamar. And I'm not a rap fan, but I heard what he was saying. Um, Country singer John Rich, I don't understand one word of halftime show. Did you? I need a translator. Jenny Johnson, hey, NFL, Trump won. We no longer let talentless, mumbling, pagan, satanic cultists do halftime shows and pretend like people like it. I mean, this is. I'm reading these. Matt Walsh, bizarre decision by the NFL to have some guy come out and lethargically mumble a bunch of songs that 90% of the NFL audience never heard. Really? Oh, okay, whatever. I mean, Matt Gaetz, the halftime show you just watched is clearly the regime's response to Trump's historic games with black men. Why don't you go chase a 17-year-old, Matt Gaetz? And the thing about it, you know what's worse? The NFL apologized for Kendrick Lamar's show because it upset these people and Trump. Come on. Grow a set. Embrace it. The NFL always embraced diversity, or at least it tried to. It's been trying to. But in one fell swoop, they got rid of the end racism on the halftime at the end zones signs, and then apologized for Kendrick Lamar's performance. You know what really pissed them all off? Samuel L. Jackson dressed up as Uncle Sam, and that whole show was a poke. It was a damn poke at Trump and the current administration. And you do not have to be a fucking rap fan not to understand what was going on. I mean, I'm not a big fan of rap. I know some of it. Kendrick Lamar is huge. I know some of his music. But damn, if you heard those lyrics, you know what he was saying, and that's what pisses him off. Because they got it. They just say they didn't get it. They got it. All right. And as Kendrick Lamar said, the revolution shall be televised, but we got the wrong guy. Bingo. Now here's one that tells you everything you know about the Trump administration, Elon Musk, etc. Bloomberg reported that Trump signed an executive order today directing the DOJ to pause enforcing the 1977 Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Do you remember that the senators that were taking money from Arab countries? Yeah, that's what that came from. The FBI busted them. Going back to the line, Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which prohibits American companies and foreign firms from bribing officials of foreign governments to obtain and retain business. Their point is, the White House statement is, let's see here, the law bar, let's see here, the FCPA's intent is to prevent American firms from fueling rampant public corruption that undermines the rule of law in many parts of the world. Over time, the FCPA's rules have grown into bedrock principles how American businesses operate overseas. This law barred Americans from paying bribes to foreign officials. Trump does not live in this century. Trump does not live in this decade. He thinks everything's 1955. Business is not done like this. You can't do this business. I'm guessing most companies will ignore this and continue their current procedures. But that tells you one thing about all those guys, what they think, how business is run, and that's totally disgusting. And here's another one, FAFO number one. A new White House statement includes Trump is about to sign an executive order reversing Biden's ban on bank overdraft fees and preventing medical debt from being used negatively to affect credit reports. I mean, that doesn't help them. It helps us. But he goes out of his way to fuck us so the banks can benefit. Overdraft fees were just bullshit. Now, I don't think banks will return to them because it would cause problems with their customers. But, dear God Almighty, he's not for the people. That's another FO for you people. He doesn't give a shit about you. And here we go with more FO. Today, Trump announced a 25% tariff on all steel and aluminum coming to the United States from any other country. Any steel and aluminum coming to the United States is going to have a 25% tariff, aluminum too. 65% of construction material comes from overseas. 65%. That's going to raise construction prices. I mean, this is insane. That. And it's not going to ramp up American steel business. You know that, I know that. And also it probably will cost jobs and anything else in construction. The EU is not happy. Let's see, financial. Now here we go. I've been seeing TikToks from a lot of Canadians who pop around, and they're saying that they're getting ready for war. They are not playing. They are getting ready for war. And Americans on this side, no, he won't do it. Trump was asked about Canada. Now, I love the people of Canada. We have a great relationship. But if they become our 51st state, it would be the greatest thing they could ever do. And I think how beautiful that country would be without that artificial line running through it. Someone drew it many years ago with a ruler, just a line. He doesn't think that Canadian people have a culture. Yeah, I'm going to FO too, dude. Bow Wow. Yeah, I'm fine. Mike, by the way, Bow Wow How 21, before TJ goes after you. Hey, brother, my cholesterol's good. I will outlive your motherfucking life. So, and if you want to come up with fat jokes, motherfucker, bring them on. It's not anything I haven't heard all my fucking life. You dumbasses. Come on. So just remember that. He is willing, that they're really, some other reports are coming out that he's really, really, really serious about invading Canada. He thinks we could win because Canada's going to lay down. Okay. Remember, the reason we have the Geneva Convention is because of Canadians. Look it up. All right, here we go. To those of you far left and the Palestinian Americans in Michigan who voted for Trump, who still think Trump is okay, and the far left who sat out this last election or didn't want to vote or voted for Trump as a protest because Americans, because Biden, Genocide Joe and Kamala do the same. Here's another FO for you, okay? Reporter, does your commitment to rebuilding Gaza extend beyond your time in office? Trump, I'm committing to buying and owning Gaza. As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East to build sections of it. There's nothing to move back into. It's a place. The place is a demolition site. The remainder will be demolished. When asked, would the U.S. accept Palestinian refugees since you're asking other countries to do that? Trump, it's a very far distance for them to travel. They're far away from their friends and family. They don't want to go back to Gaza. And that's just a taste of everything. Want to give you an update on what's going on. Anyone wants to bring something else, that's great. It's this is just one day, guys. One day. And that doesn't even count Trump getting rid of, you know, just going on his way to fire people we need. Oh, that didn't touch on the most important thing. And I'll bring this up. We're going to start up with the FAFO, and then I'm going to get a couple of guests. The biggest FO today is to farmers. Trump is supposed to unfreeze payments by court order. He's ignoring the court order. Farmers are crying because they're not getting the USDA payments from a Biden plan under the Build Back America. They're not going to get the money. They planned on that money. USAID aid is frozen, so people who had grown crops in the anticipation of selling that to the government to send it out are not getting anything. You guys are silly. I mean, I have no sympathy for you, but the problem is you're going to have crops that rot, and that's going to affect prices down the line for all of us. Because understand, those crops means they're going to sit in the field and they're not going to have enough money to plant again. We're going to lose farms. We're going to lose supply chain. It's bad enough with chasing immigrants out of the country or not into hiding. They're not picking fruit. And so it's insane because they think that's going to benefit the economy. It isn't. It's going to raise prices and force a lot of people out of work who voted for Trump. Okay, I see a few people here. I've seen you in my thing. Let's see if you want to come up here. Alrighty. Things never work the way you want. And, oh, look. But, I mean, that's what we're looking at. This is the, honestly, guys, this is FAFO. And we're only less than 2 months in the, into the Trump administration. And I can't say it getting worse. And little by little, he's disconnecting the federal government from people. He's holding everything in. And the one thing I keep saying is, it's not going to benefit anyone. Because the problem we've been sold over all these centuries, all these years, has been that, bear with me a moment, has been since the Reagan administration. Let's be honest, since the Reagan administration, all right, that government is evil. That anything government does is evil. That even if it gives you a check to rebuild your home after disaster, it's evil. That tax money is evil. Anything that helps anyone is evil that the government does. That's why they're selling Elon Musk as the savior, because he's getting rid of corruption. No, that's not your job. And the problem, and he started doing that exactly after he fired all these IGs, inspector generals, because that's their job. And if you want to talk about waste, you take it to the Congress, because that's what it's there for. Congress has the purse strings, but they are ignoring it. They really, really want a true king, and we don't like kings. People don't. The one thing I'm hearing from a lot of people, forgive me, the one thing I'm hearing from a lot of people is that we're going down the same track as 36 Germany. There are hints of it. There's a lot of it. I get it. But I want to back up on history a little, guys. And bear with me, because I know everyone's going, history. Bear with me. The thing with history is, it's a wheel, karma. But the difference between us and what happened in Germany at that time is that Germany came out of a huge, huge depression. Horrible depression, okay? They also, before that, because the depression happened under the first democracy they had. Before that, they had the Kaiser. They were a monarchy. So the idea of a democracy was still not really built into the system. Um, so then came the Depression. Then they couldn't really do anything about it. Then came the rise of you know who. And so when it came down to it, when you know who became leader and started to do all he's doing, people were down with it. They're cool with it. We're cool with this because it's all good. Um, that's what's going on. And so that's what happened there. And that's why people, when you know who took power, people were going, cool. They didn't care about his acts and what he did to people. They were fine with it because they're going to get theirs. Excuse me while I do something here. They were going to get theirs. And bear with me 1 second. We're trying to get this. There we go.
Hey, Will, what's up?
Hey, Mike, can you hear me? Yeah, how you
Yeah,
doing? Sorry to take you away from your day.
no, it's no problem. I tell you what, if you hit your button, it opens up and there's a thing like a little square and it'll make you half the page and then me where I belong in my little corner.
So what's the square by the setting?
Yeah, I think so. Well, you got to punch into you. You got to hit your thing.
Right.
And then it should come up, and in the top row there's a square, and it will open
There's
it
a
up.
square. It looks like a prism. I don't know what this is for.
Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I know. It's like everyone wants to see my face. What the hell? Anyway, yeah, I've been just getting everyone up to speed. It's been an interesting day for stuff, and I called the show FAFO because we're talking about things that's happening that people are finding out that they're going to pay the price for, especially the farmers. Because I was reading here in Midas Touch another article. Man, he's frozen all USDA payments. Farmers are totally and truly, what's the technical term? Fucked. Truly and absolutely fucked. And the thing about it is that, go ahead, Mike.
No, a lot of people are gonna experience this pain, and they're gonna be crying and whining about it. But we are in this position for one reason, because of cowardice. The Republicans can see that this is going to damage people in the country, and they could choose to stop it by impeaching him or doing something else, applying pressure, but they're too afraid of him. So they're going to let the country burn down just because they're too afraid of Donald Trump. They will live to regret that.
I mean, and everyone's afraid of Trump, even corporations. And I was talking about the NFL earlier. NFL, I mean, the Kendrick Lamar halftime show pissed off all of MAGA. Okay?
Which I love.
Let's face it, that was a blunt poke in the eye. With Samuel L. Jackson dressed up as, Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
And I'm not a rap fan, you're not a rap fan, but if you listen to what he was saying, he was poking it. And so they're all upset. But what did the NFL do today? They apologized for the show. They apologized for the fucking show. And that tells you that these corporations are afraid of Trump. And the only corporation that's not been afraid of Trump is fucking Costco, who told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, and, that's true. As I watch this, I'm becoming more afraid of what's going to happen here. If the Republicans won't step up, if the judicial system can't step up, it's pushing people closer and closer to the potential of violence. I hate to say that, but that seems like the only option if they won't do anything.
Well, they already said, and you saw J.D. Vance kind of plowed the road, the judicial branch, the executive branch does not have to listen to the judicial branch. We know that's not true. That's unconstitutional. The branches are equal.
Bullshit.
The problem in the legislative branch is that Mike Johnson, as Speaker, has basically given up on being an equal branch and just following Trump like a dog following another dog smelling his butt. And that's the problem. And they're finding out, and they're finding out too, there was a found an article. They're talking about infighting before the budget comes up, March 14th, because Mike Johnson wants to do everything Trump wants to do. And I said in the last live we had together was that AOC laid out what the cost would be for the same tax cuts, $3 trillion freaking dollars.
Yeah.
And there are still Republicans are going, oh no, and that's the fight. And I hope Democrats just go pick, pop popcorn, sit there and wait. They cannot do any They shouldn't reconcile. They let it burn. And what are you going to do? Blame the Democrats? You're going to blame the Democrats for anything anyway. Burn it to the ground.
Well,
at this point.
At this point, you got Donald Trump, who is a screw up. He always fails. Everything he's doing here is going to fail, and then people are going to burn for it. Ultimately, Donald Trump is a narcissist. He will crash and burn at some point. I'm surprised he hasn't done it as yet, but it will happen, and there will be a lot of people that are going to be pretty ashamed. Those people that should have been brave, that should have been looking out for us, and instead kowtowed to Donald Trump. They're going to be fucking embarrassed eventually.
Hey, Mr. Suave, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Just wanted to comment.
What's your take on all this craziness that we just discussed today?
Well, as I was out today and about in our MAGA county, and this is weird because I live like a mile over the Whatcom County border, and Whatcom is a very liberal county here in Washington, and the county directly below us is Skagit County, which is extremely conservative. So walking around MAGA world today, one thing that people were commenting to me was that they are actually starting to feel the pain of Trump. And a lot of people that I know that are MAGAs have actually said, yeah, no, I'm really sorry I voted for him now. So there is some folks coming around, at least maybe the ones that are a little bit smarter.
Well, the thing is, Mr. Suave, is the problem is I've heard people say this to me before. Well, I maybe made the wrong choice. You got to understand, we didn't know this, we didn't know that. I don't care if they suffer pain. I don't care what kind of troubles they have. There's going to be no sympathy for me, but there's going to be a lot of disdain. Now, if they did something to hurt themselves, have fun with that. My problem with them, why I will never trust, like, or have any interest in them, is because of the pain and the destruction they've inflicted on innocent people who didn't vote for Donald Trump. They're not only going to suffer the consequences, they're also the culprits of this whole fucking thing. So,
absolutely.
I'm not going to feel sorry for him, and I'm going to fucking hate him for it.
No.
And the people that I really still, I'm not going to be pissed off to the day I die, are the far left. I'm sorry, guys. Trump just said that in that interview I read from Midas Touch. I'm going to own Gaza. I'm going to buy and own Gaza. He said it straight up. How's that working for you? And there's a lot of them are still want to say, no, it's okay. Trump's going to fix everything. I mean, they still won't let go. They will not let go. And that is pathetic. And a lot of people are going to, already it's hurting.
Well, by
TJ.
today's standards, I guess ethnic cleansing is okay.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, we're doing it in the United States. Let's be honest. The immigration crackdown is freaking ethnic cleansing. Because who are they going after? Who are they going after? And those of you Latinos for Trump who voted for him, this is, again, title of the show, FAFO. How's that feeling for you? Especially Venezuelans in Florida and Cubans in Florida. They're coming for you.
I want to say something about the deportation thing. It falls in line with Donald Trump being a screw-up. Donald Trump came into this presidency saying he was going to deport 18 million people. It's going to be like nothing we've ever seen. It's going to be wholesale flying people out. And people were terrified by it because Donald Trump spewed this bullshit. If you look at the real numbers right now, what he's doing in deportations, Since he's been in office, he's deported probably 8 to 9,000 people. That's a long way away from 18 million people. And the thing about it is, the amount of people he is
Yeah.
deporting per week right now is about the same as what Barack Obama did. So he talks a big game, but he can't fucking pull it off.
And also the what's his name? God, all these people's names, I don't know them. I know who they are. They anger me so much. It just like Christy Nome is the dog killer. The new AG to me is the Florida woman. I mean, I don't even know their names, but
You talking about
basically the
Tom Horman?
Uberfuhrer, yeah, the Uberfuhrer in charge of deportations. He's so pissed because people inside Border Patrol and ICE are leaking. They're telling people where they're going, and people are getting ready. He is saying that if you interfere with ICE, we're going to arrest you. We're going to have you charged. People aren't interfering with ICE. They're just telling people what's going on. And
Well,
that's
what
the
has he
thing.
done?
People are
He hasn't done
nothing.
anything.
And the thing about it, he's just he is good Lord, the sheriff from Alabama, Bull Connor. He's just
Yeah.
Bull Connor, modern version of Bull Connor. I hear him. It's no different if you look up a video of Bull Connor. What's the difference with what he's saying and what Tom Hoffman's saying? It's not the difference. It's no difference. And the thing about it is that people are fighting back. Los Angeles have been having huge rallies. I saw one in, I think, was it New York? And in Cincinnati, Ohio, you know who showed up? The young ones. And what is it about these fascists and the U-Haul trucks? They show up in a U-Haul truck and come out. I mean,
That's so
U-Haul.
ridiculous.
It's they come out in a U-Haul truck. I mean, and the thing about it though, they showed up in the neighborhood, and the neighborhood said, "Oh hell no," and they stood up, and there was very little coverage of that. Very
I saw
little.
that. I saw that. That was cool. Whole neighborhood just kicked their ass off the bridge.
All right. And the point is that people are starting to are pushing back. People who have done, you know, as everyone knows, was it Izzy to Izzy?
Tizient.
Yeah, Tizian, he's getting those people who think that Trump's going to cash the checks that they put out, but instead
Yeah.
of getting support, they're getting railed. So I was making a point before you came on, Mike, is we're different than the Germans, and historically, because everyone's saying it's just the same track. It's not. The people
No,
of
it's
Germany at
not.
that point were put down. They were in a depression. They were under a Kaiser before. So and the same thing with the Russians. The reason they embrace Putin because they don't know different. They haven't had 200 years of democracy. Speak in our minds. We have had that. That's who we are. And so the idea that we're all going to roll over isn't going to happen.
No.
We're not going to stand up and say, "Yay, it's okay." No, because that's not how we built. And even MAGA is finding that out that they don't like that, and they're
If they let
pushing
it go
back.
on too, if they let it go on too long, there will be an uprising. I guarantee you of that. We
Oh,
saw it in the
it's
1960s. We've seen it
mhm.
before. There's going to be an uprising. It's not going to be. It's not going to be nice. It's not going to be safe, and that's why I'd hate to see it. But if people feel like that's the only option they have because Congress and judicial system and Republicans won't do anything about it, Americans will. We're a much different personality and it's a much different era now than it was in Germany. They didn't have social media. They didn't have a way to coordinate things. This is a dangerous crowd of people if you get them to the point where they're angry or scared. And that's my biggest fear right now is just
Right.
complete chaos. And it's all going to be pointed at Donald Trump and the Republicans.
And
It'll be
one
like
thing
the
I
White
will
Night
say too
riots
is
in
that
San Francisco.
yeah, one thing I want to bring up too is that with that we can't. They keep telling us if we do it, it's going to be martial law. This is that. You're going to tell me the U.S. military is ready for that.
They're
And
not.
I don't
here's
think
one
so.
thing
They
I
weren't
saw.
then. How
Pete,
can they be now?
yeah, Pete Hesketh had a town meeting with DOD staffers or in the Pentagon and military members. He spoke for 15 minutes, and most of it was about DEI, how he's going to get rid of DEI, blah, 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 blah. First question, he was asked something that is that a department secretary should know about strategy about dealing with China. And they cut off the town hall because he couldn't answer the question. They're hiding shit from us because they know he's incompetent. And again, I'm going to make this really clear. You made it comment, Mike. A lot of people have made this comment. You go after, they set Elon Musk after DOD spending. Oh, really? Military contractors aren't going to be happy. Two,
No.
you went after the CIA. You're going after the FBI and agents, and you're going to go after the military. These people, especially the military, the strong ones, the ones who've been there forever, have taken their oath to the Constitution. Period. Not Trump. And you're right. It could get that way with pitchforks and torches, but I got a feeling in my heart that when push comes to shove and Trump goes, you're going to do something, and they're all going to say no. Then the shit's going to hit the fan. That's the scary part, because we were talking about Canada and Trump's unbelievable desire to take Canada to 51st state. Canadians are preparing for war. Canadians
Absolutely.
are preparing for war. They're not playing. They are not. Yeah. And the thing about it, again, I'll say it again. The Geneva Convention was invented because of Canadians. Look that up. But there are also reports within the White House that he's seriously about an invasion of Canada. I mean, so you got to. I want them. I want those people, those U.S. military officers in the Pentagon. See, you're going to attack an ally of the United States, a NATO country. Tell me you're going to do that. Tell me you're going to follow those orders, please.
Well,
I want to see that.
He's going to send
Well,
oath keepers up there.
Yeah, TJ, you were say?
the thing about it is that us attacking Canada would be an act of war, which
Yeah.
the president can't do without the authorization of Congress. So, even though like the MAGAs are nuts in Congress, I think it's a bridge too far for Republican legislators that have half a brain. So, at that point, if he tries to do that, I honestly believe that there's going to be enough Republicans that are not going to be favorable to that to 25th him.
Well, and the big problem is too is that we won't be fighting just against Canada because of NATO. There's going to be a lot of countries coming to their aid. It'll be a weird situation, but Canada won't be in this alone.
No.
I just don't see Donald Trump. Nobody in their right mind is going to go try to invade Canada. Donald Trump talks shit all the time. He says a lot of stuff that isn't true, that never comes to pass. Donald Trump
Right.
is a blowhard. He's full of bluster and bullshit. And this is what I've said before. People have to take what he says with a grain of salt. People get afraid and people get worried about the things he says. Think of all the things he said coming in now. He hasn't accomplished any one of those things that everybody was so afraid of, like the 18 million deportation or the tariffs or whatever. He backs down. It's just bluster and bullshit. It's a strategy to negotiate. He has no intention of really trying to pull it off. He'll take it as far as he can get it, but once he gets pushback, he's fucking done.
Yeah, and it's going to be the thing is that he said that in a private with an interview with a reporter on a plane. So the problem we're having right now is, and I made this kind of video about it. The problem we're having is that he went to the Super Bowl and got booed. He'll say he got cheered. Everyone says, "Oh, Megan say he got cheered," because he thought they would worship him. They thought that he would be on TV all the time. He thought everyone would bow down to him. And the problem he's having, what we're having, is this little bubble in Washington that these people don't know how the rest of us live outside the country. They think Trump is God. They think Trump is loved beyond belief. He is not. and that's what's driving them. They're lying to him. All the sycophants are lying to him, and because they don't want his wrath. The problem is that leads to this fantasy world where we can just walk into Canada and take it, and they'll bow down to me, or Mexico wants to join us, or the Panama Canal is ours. This is a sign of a man who's lost his goddamn mind, but everyone thinks it's a good idea. I mean, most of the time, in the old days, he would be in the psych ward in Bellevue for a 72-hour observation. But now he's president of the United States. So, hi, welcome to the world, I guess. So, I mean, that's the crazy. But the problem is now, it's starting to slowly flow into society. The egg prices and the cutting off of the CDC from warning people what's going on is starting to bite people in the ass. They don't even want the USDA to report that you're killing flocks of chickens because they're afraid it's going to reflect badly on the Trump administration. Eggs are still going up. The farmers losing their farming is such a seasonal thing. I mean, you get money and you put out money, you get stuff on credit, and then you pay it off later, and you count on things that are promised to you later down the line before you plant a crop. Now what? These guys are screwed, and it screws us too, because those crops who are coming to us, they're going to die. And that's what people don't get it. They think, oh, just sell it to America. No, it wasn't intended for that. It's going to die. And it's going to affect the supply chain. And that's where prices go up. Simple as that. And you guys, the MAGA economics just don't get it. They think that everything is going to be okay. Terrorists are going to solve everything because everyone's going to get a job and we're going to make everything in America. When did that ever happen in the United States? Please inform me when.
It doesn't matter as long as Donald Trump says it. Some dumb fucks will believe it, and there's not much you can do with stupid people like that except let them burn down and hopefully they learn something. But I doubt it.
And the thing about it is that the Republican Party is sad. I mean, they just mimic everything Trump says. Kristi Noem, they asked her, if you think you're the head of Homeland Security, and they asked her, don't you think Elon Musk, a foreigner, is a threat going through Americans' private information, Treasury, and all that? And she just spouted a bunch of shit about she's getting rid of corruption.
Wow.
I mean, the American, this is going to cost us so much. And the hardest thing to think about, Mike and you guys, stopping it, the people who should stop it aren't. The people who want to stop it are putting out the judges, and they're being ignored.
Absolutely.
And that is how civil wars start. That's how you end up with riots in the streets. And we don't need that.
Hey, Will, I got to run here because I got to record a podcast here in about 2 minutes.
Oh, that's
I wanted
right.
to make
Say,
sure
Kristi, say hi.
Mike.
Hey,
I will say.
we'll see you around, Mike. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, you should be safe. Take care, Mike. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
If you can cut me off, I'm not sure if I think I can do it.
Yeah, you hit the little X or the. There he goes. Yeah, I was about to say, hey, TJ, handle that. Go ahead, handle him.
I don't think I can do that, literally.
No. So, guys, we've been talking about a bunch of stuff. I mean, we talk, and all of us. I mean, I've seen everyone's videos, I've seen everyone's comments. The question I have for everyone is, where are we right now by the way of action? Because I don't trust our Congress at all, Democrats or Republicans. I mean, Democrats let too many people in that cabinet come through, and they're still trying to they're still sound that they may let Kash Patel through. I mean, what are our recourses at this point, short of literally, like I say, pitchfork and torches?
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm a child of the 60s and the 70s, and I grew up during these times. And the reality is, until you get to that point, they're just going to keep pushing and pushing until we it's going to take some major pushback. Now, the people that were protesting at all 50 capitals like last
Mm-hmm.
Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a start. Where's the sit-ins? Why isn't anybody, why aren't we doing a frickin' sit-in the goddamn Treasury Department?
That's what I was thinking. You guys are standing in front of it. Look, there wasn't much security there. You could have pushed in, and I don't
Yeah,
know if
go
people
do a
don't want to
sit-in.
take it to the next step.
Did you
Go ahead,
see?
TJ.
Listen, did you see that guy that was blocking the door? I mean,
Dude, I
I
The
could have wrapped
marshmallow?
his nuts with
no,
my
the guy that
chain
was
walked in.
the guy that was blocking the door at the Department of Education or whatever it was. Like that guy looked like he was like 120 pounds. He had no
Mm-hmm.
uniform on. He didn't look like law enforcement. If some fucking guy like that's blocking the door for me, trying to tell me I can't go into a public building, I'm just gonna launch him with my left arm and walk in the building. Like I don't know why that didn't happen. He didn't look armed. He didn't look like he was police or military. Push him out of the
Right.
way
But
and
if
go in
you
the
look
fucking
at the
door.
picture, TJ, you'll find that behind those glass doors, there were 4 or 5 armed guards back there.
That's fine. Let them deal with it. But fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
And
since when do Congress, who have security clearance, don't have access to public buildings? That's what I'm getting at. Them stopping Congress from going in there is unlawful.
Oh, absolutely. That's
That's what I'm
bullshit.
saying. So fuck that guy standing at the door. Throw his ass out of the way and go in the damn building. I don't
Right? But
understand why that happened.
the people that enforce that, though, aren't they the federal marshals?
Well, it
yeah,
depends.
the U.S. Marshal it handles that, and the thing about it is that the U.S. Marshal has basically been keeping them out. And again, I'll say it: when did the U.S. Marshals become Elon Musk's private army? I
That's what I'm
mean,
thinking.
But
yeah, go ahead. Sir.
it's unlawful either way. Like I can walk into the office of the Department of Education as a U.S. citizen. They can't stop me from doing that. And then members of Congress try to do it. They tell them they're not allowed in. That's ridiculous. They sit. They that
And
There's no way. Like they should have brought law enforcement there and said, "You have to let us in this building."
okay, hey, meltdown. How am I uneducated? What we're selling? You're a Democrat. You lie. Okay. In those comments, explain your statement. If you're going to say a statement like that, I want to see what you're going to say. Bring it out.
Just
Because,
bring them
I
up.
mean, I'm not, yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah, bring them up. We'll have
Bring
to
them up.
pin
We'll
bring
talk.
it up. Yeah, bring it on. Because I'll tell you one thing, dude, you're a Democrat and we're uneducated? Educated about what? I don't see your name again. Are you requesting? Request. If you're going to talk
How many
shit,
inquiries do you got,
Put
dude?
your money where your mouth
talk,
is.
I'd be more than
talk
happy to
shit.
debate you on that one.
Oh, JD took his knees out. That's
Oh,
fine.
Oh, JD.
But that's okay. I mean, I saw that and go, uneducated or what? If you're going to say it, say it. I'm uneducated because why? I mean, the thing, it comes back to the same thing when my comments, you know, I don't care about the fat jokes. It's not
that's all they
like I
got.
haven't heard it before.
Well, that's all.
It's weak.
That's
Oh, I
all
know
they
that's all they
got.
got. In one of my
That's all
videos,
you
someone
got?
said I called Trump a fat ass. He goes, "You're calling Trump a fat ass?" I go, "Yep, I'm calling him a fat ass." He calls Governor Christie a fat slob. What the hell? I mean, come on, guys. And the thing about it is that you say statements, but you don't back it up.
Hey, Will,
Back
don't
your
you
shit
know?
up.
Don't you
Hmm.
know that Donald Trump is 6'3" and 215 pounds?
Did you see when he did that? Did you see what ESPN actually did this? They showed what 6'3" and 215 looks like.
Yeah,
That's Lamar Jackson.
Jason Momoa 6'3" and 215 pounds.
No, but they showed Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, is 6'3" and 215. And see, the point is, I know what I am. Trump does not know what he is. He's sold this. And I'll be say it straight up. How that man pull chicks? Please, someone tell me. Is money that good? And this guy didn't have money.
Will, Clara Dostal in the chat brought up a very good point. He has tiny hands, so maybe that's why he weighs less.
I'm not going to go. I'm not going down that road. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Please, God, no. Yeah, I'm fluffy. Yeah, I'm not fat. I'm fluffy. Thank you, whoever the Gabriel Iglesias fan is. Thank you.
Love
Appreciate
that
it.
guy.
Oh yeah. It's just too good. But the point is, like, we're living in an entire con game right now. And the point is, the con going on right now is the heist keeps going on. They're going through the Treasury Department, they're going through the DOD, they're going through the Veterans Administration. And he keeps saying he's looking for grift or graft or corruption. You're not a fucking investigator. Why? What are you looking for? Things you don't want to give money to? Competitors? How is Elon Musk given this much power and everyone's going, that's cool. I'm good with it. I'm not good with it. Why are Republicans good with it? Someone, go ahead.
What happened to the last person who investigated the DOD that wasn't Congress?
I would go with, well, it wasn't Congress? Because I was thinking Joseph McCarthy, but go ahead.
No, the last person who investigated the DOD that wasn't Congress was JFK.
Okay, I've heard that. And yeah, he was, yeah, and that was part of it I could see because there were some problems in Vietnam in the military. But damn, yeah, that's a good point. My point is, what I'm looking for now is what happens to when the CIA, when they really go after the CIA, because Trump's still butthurt by the CIA. He thinks they embarrassed him many times during his first administration.
I'm not
and
sure
CIA agents.
Really good idea.
No, it's not a good idea.
That would be a really bad idea.
And hi, Eddie, what's going on, brother, in Texas?
We're doing better than people think we are, but I don't know if that's true actually, because like we got Abbott over here, and it looks like he's going to pull through on his whole voucher thing, which of course is crap, but they're pulling it in at least half a dozen states across the country right now. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that took him, 3 years? He kept fighting that for 3 years. And he
I think he's been trying longer than that. But what's funny is he actually gets a lot of Republican pushback because it's that stupid. It's I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Just
you know what, Greg Abbott. Have anyone of you guys seen Landman on Paramount?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Do you know, Ms. Slav, you know the scene where he's offering to, pay that $300,000 through solar, and that guy is sitting there and it says, "I don't like to do business with people I insult." That I feel, that uppity Texas dude. That's Greg Abbott. Because, dude, you're getting money from everywhere. Shut up. And Greg Abbott is, if anything's a DEI hire, that's Greg Abbott. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, they want to take away ramps. It's like, how's Greg Abbott going to get around?
Well, as it is, the Capitol isn't handicap accessible. So it's just funny when people are like, "Oh, they did this and that." No, they didn't. It's not accessible.
So has he got handlers? They have to carry him?
I haven't seen him in the Capitol. I just know that I was there just a few years ago, and I was with somebody in a wheelchair, and she could barely get in and out. It just, yeah.
Damn. How Texas.
It makes
But I
sense.
mean,
That makes sense. I mean, it's you know.
and it's
Yeah.
and that's the thing. The hardest thing we talk about national. Remember, there are some states falling into unbelievable craziness. Did you see in Oklahoma that there's a bill to ban romance novels
Yep, I saw that.
with felony convictions up to 30 years? And I saw that, and I did a video on it, and I go, really? You know, there's a book that has incest, mass killings, um, a man setting another man to die in war so he could take his wife.
How about
Who has
how about
has a
when the
go ahead.
40 children are mauled by a bear because they
Yeah.
made fun of a bald guy?
Or the
I know the book you're talking
Exactly, Hop.
yeah, or the guy forced by some entity to sacrifice his son, or at the end there's this huge acid trip about the end of the world. You know which book I'm all talking about, right?
We all know.
Yeah.
And the point is, romance books. I mean, that's insane. It's like Republicans come up with stuff to put out because they got nothing else to talk about or to deal with, or they don't want to deal with. I mean, oh, by the
I
way,
don't
does
think that's as
Oklahoma
scary
have
as
a
what
governor,
what
or
they
is this,
did pass in Tennessee. Did you see what they passed in Tennessee?
is that the one? If you vote against Trump, you go to jail.
Basically, yeah. Or
That
it's a
got
felony.
through.
It's a felony conviction. Yeah.
So they, God, did that get to court? Please tell me they went to court.
Hopefully,
They
but
try to
not that I
block
saw
it.
yet.
Not yet.
Jeez.
Quieter so I can focus on my job.
Wow, that's insane. When did that's just so many violations of the Constitution? I can't even begin to count. God, and they think that's a good idea. Why? You can't oppose Trump? Isn't that totally un-American? Jesus
It has to be
Christ.
voted unconstitutional.
Well, it violates the First Amendment for sure. And don't get me started on the religious persecution office that the DOJ is coming up with. I mean, that's what we're going back to what we're talking about. There is FAFO for everyone. We're all going to pay a price for some people. Again,
Some form of
how
fascism.
how far are we going to go when it gets out of hand? That's my biggest concern for a lot of people, because they're going to go.
I think
If
we're
they-
almost there now.
Yeah.
I mean, what happens if Elon Musk decides that, because he's already made comments about Social Security? What if he says that I'm not going to release anyone's checks?
I'll laugh.
I mean, what'll happen? What happens at that point? What if they really cut
Molotov
everyone out?
cocktails, pitchforks, torches.
Yeah,
It's like,
there's
oh yeah.
my wife got me a book once called The Pot Liquor Papers by John Edge, which is about how cooking came, especially based in slavery and all that. They have a whole chapter on LBJ's, how he came to do the war against poverty, and how he traveled around the South and saw abject poverty beyond belief. People who had nothing, who couldn't get food or water in the South, and that's what helped bring it to the forefront. Why he created a lot of things that people are taking advantage of now. They may say that, it's socialism. No, he saw it as helping people out. If you ever read some of the descriptions of what people were doing with them, absolutely nothing. It's amazing. It's sad to think about. That was what, less than 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
Yeah,
That people
but
were.
if you
I
go back
mean,
and you look, I'll bet you LBJ is probably one of the biggest unsung heroes of America, like
yes,
literally.
yeah. Lyndon
He
Johnson.
accomplished a whole lot, and he came across as a common man. He connected, but he also had that, like, the sense of Congress. It's like he was one of the, what was it, the greatest majority leaders, you
Yeah,
know, and he knew
as
whose
Speaker of the
arm to
House.
twist, and he knew who to, like, hey, dude, I got this on you. Fuck you. You vote for my bill.
Yeah, and he was like that as president too. And that built what a lot of people live off these days. And that's the
Yes.
ironic thing. They vote against their own frickin' interest. I mean, all these red states, they're taking it apart. And you're going to end up like that again. Why don't they see that? Is it because they're fine with it like the rest of us suffers too? I mean, I ask these questions all the time because it never makes sense.
Hey,
It
Will,
never makes sense. Yes, sir.
you're forgetting something that's very important.
Hmm.
9 out of 10 of the most poorly educated states are red states. So
That is true.
that's they that kind of is self-explanatory as to why we don't understand.
You, and the
It's
thing about
now
it is,
in the Department of Education. It's like the red states are the dumbest. They're also the poorest.
Yeah,
So they're
right?
gonna like continue to slide downhill. Hey, blue states. It's like my state, Washington. Hey, we'd be more than happy to keep our tax dollars here and spend it on our state rather than giving it to Kentucky or Alabama.
sure.
And
But
it's weird. Go
but
ahead.
the funny thing about it is all the woes in the red states with the poorest education and the most welfare, their messaging over there by the Republicans is it's because of blue states. That's what they blame it
Oh,
all on the Democrats. They say all your problems are because of the Democrats, even though their fucking shitty states are falling apart
right.
and they have no fucking money and they take more tax dollars than they put into the federal government and it's made up by Illinois, California, New York, and Washington State, Massachusetts,
Yeah.
and they blame it all on the blue states and Democrats and say it's because of Democrats that you're in this shitty situation. And because they're so poorly educated and they don't know what's going on, they believe it. They fucking believe it.
And
Absolutely.
it's sad. It's what did that Johnson say, Miss Suave, about that a poor white man will believe anything as long as a poor black man is worse than they are? Is that trying to paraphrase
That's
that?
kind of how,
Um,
yeah. It's like as long as the black guy is worse off, white guy couldn't care less.
and that's sad because you
Very
suffer
sad.
along. I mean, it's part of an old Russian proverb I read long ago, where this guy found a genie in his dirt at a Russian farm, and that genie came out, or a spirit, and told him, "Hey, I'll give you one wish. What do you want?" And he pointed at his neighbor's cow. I want my neighbor's cow to die, so he doesn't have one and I don't have one. I mean, that's the
Yep.
mentality of it, and it's sad because they could have so much more with a safety net,
Right.
but they don't believe in it,
Nope.
and and the industry doesn't go to those states. Why? Because they have uneducated population. It's. I mean, I'm in Georgia.
Well,
There's industry everywhere in Georgia because we get a lot of imports, as they're very highly educated people here. There's
well,
industry
well,
everywhere in Georgia.
I'm going to push back on that a little bit and I'll tell you why.
Okay. Hmm.
Because the thing about those states, Georgia included, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. Industry does go there for cheap wages.
Okay,
And that's it.
I'll give you that.
That's absolutely true. I live in
And right to work states.
yeah, I live in a state that's not
Look at
right to work.
Kentucky.
Go ahead.
Kentucky has all the car manufacturers. Alabama has a lot too.
Yeah. Ohio has a lot, but they have UAW there, so they're union. But yeah, they push industry into those states because they're right to work, and they can pay significantly less than non-right to work states. I live in a non-right to work state. They try all the time. Republicans consistently in our legislature in the state try to push Pennsylvania to right to work, and we handily defeat them all the time. But you know that's why industry Pennsylvania is at a disadvantage because these right to work states, people will work for half the money, and they don't even understand that they're fucking themselves. And then you try to talk to these people in these states about unions, and they scoff at you and look at you like you're an asshole. Like I work for a labor union, so we're actually an international organization, but I've been sent on what we call a blitz, which is
Mm-hmm.
they take people from jurisdictions all over the country and they send them into states to try to organize people to join a union. And when I go to right to work states on these things, um, I get met with hatred for something they have no idea that
No.
will benefit them. Like they're absolutely so dead set against union because it's a buzzword. In these, they were told as they grew up or whatever that unions are bad, that they have no idea that they're getting screwed.
Yeah, and the hardest thing about them too is like the companies have brainwashed them that
Yes.
unions will make it worse for them. You'll have to pay their fees, and you'll have union bosses telling you what to do. And the poor company will have to pay more, and you're going to suffer. Trust us. I've been watching The Blacklist. Has anyone seen that show? That show, I've been binging it. And James
Seen it
Spader's
all
ridiculous.
the way through.
Yeah, and there's one thing where he tells a guy who doesn't want to help him because he doesn't want to ruin his time with the border patrol because he wants to get a promotion. He's been waiting years for this promotion, and they've been good to him. And Reddington tells him a story of how microwave came to be. That the guy who created it was working on radio waves, came up to a device, and it melted his candy bar, and he realized that radio waves could cook. But his company took his idea, gave him $2, and just that's all he got for a device that literally changed the way we cook in the United States, the way everyone cooks in the world. And he made a comment. He goes, "You might keep your loyalty to a company, but a company will never keep their loyalty to you.
Never.
Ever.
Never.
They will turn on you." And that's the point. They don't get it. Those people never understood that a union is not there to fuck you. A union is the one that gives you the backbone to stand up to the company when they're trying to fuck you. Because a company will throw you off the bus, will close a shop, will tell you you're getting less, your health is being cut if it benefits their bottom line. They don't care about you. Trust me. I mean, I'm a retired Teamster. I know how this shit works.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, 896, worked 20 years, retired Teamster, was a shop steward for a while. I know how this shit works.
Hey.
And companies will not back you up. It's all basically it's the principle of the Godfather. It's nothing personal. It's just business. And to us, we're just pieces. And that's what we're seeing with the new Trump administration. We are pieces. We are not human to them. We are just either in the way or something to be used.
Hey,
And
Oliver's mom, 1987, said something interesting, and I want to talk about it real quick. She
Go
said
ahead.
that Costco's union just got a raise for their employees. Costco extended that to all employees. And I think what she's saying here, and I might be wrong about this, but Costco's across the country. Like the Costco that's closest to me, which is kind of far, but is union. Like all the employees are union at Costco. But what I think she's saying here is that the union contracts got a raise, and then Costco is giving that same raise to the non-union ones in like Alabama, Florida, Mississippi. They're extending that same raise to those people, which you know, that it kind of like makes me upset because I want them to be union, but like that Costco has the, integrity to give that same raise to their non-union employees makes me happy and makes me love Costco because I support Costco for being union in, the states that they are union. But if they
Yep.
shared that wealth with their employees, that's that's the type of corporation that every corporation in this country should model themselves after.
But those corporations are the other ones are weak. That goes back to the DEI thing with Costco, because the pressure has been on. Ford got rid of DEI. GM got rid of DEI from pressure from Stephen Miller. And then Walmart did it and Target did it. And Costco said, fuck you.
Right.
And Costco stood their ground even though they were getting shit from the Trump administration. And the thing about it is, from what I'm hearing, people are leaving Walmart, Sam's Club, and going to Costco.
Yes.
Or then Target. Target recently had to back out. Yeah, and Target had to back away from their beliefs because a lot of people were saying "F that."
Yeah.
All right. And the thing about it, let's just the DEI thing. And in one of my videos, I said DEI is now the new Jim Crow. It's become the legal Jim Crow. It's a way of getting rid of people you don't like because they don't look like you or don't believe like you. It's the same thing. And it goes back to something I meant to bring up in a video. I'll bring up with you guys. The word political correctness. Political correctness was created by Republicans because people were getting caught saying shit they shouldn't say. And so they had to come up with an excuse. Go ahead, Eddie, you were saying?
Oh,
yes,
just the part about Costco is correct. And what I was going to say to your point before that is I can wrap my head around how the company might penalize me if I'm hurting their product, if I'm hurting their sales, if I'm hurting their CEO. I can get all that. But what gets really amorphous is when they stomp on you because basically all you're doing is pissing off their shareholders.
Yes.
And that's what you run into, and it's like, oh shit, this is fucking weird.
And it's
you know
cowardly.
What I mean?
Yeah, it's cowardly.
Yeah.
And because this is all invented stuff, and going back to saying by political correctness, it was picked up by the media, and the biggest one who fucking pushed this was Bill Maher. Bill Maher weaved this fake bullshit that liberals and political correctness was ruining the country. That we could say anything we want. Blah, 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 blah. And he wrote it into whatever greatness he has now. But it led to what we see now with the CRT, the DEI, because people now believe if you're a person of color or woman or someone else, you did not get your position because of your quality. Because it would be better if a white man was sitting in that position. And you cheated a qualified white man out of that. And Trump and all his 2025 assholes are rolling through that to try to move the clock back.
Well, Will, the Trump fucks don't understand what DEI is. And the way that I'll explain it is that the Trumple fucks think that DEI is affirmative action, and it's not. And I had this argument with somebody the other day, is that they think that DEI is hiring someone based upon the color of their skin or their sexual orientation or whatever the fuck, right? But it's not. They don't even have a fundamental understanding of it. And DEI is, I can sum it up in like basically one sentence. DEI is making the workplace look like society. That's what DEI is. It's taking the workplace and making it look like everyone in the country. So it's not about old white men or basic misogyny and all the other things that they try to push. It's making it look like society where it's diverse, and they have no clue about that.
No, and the hardest thing for them to get their grip on is that that's better for a company. That's better for everyone. It's better for your stakeholders, your shareholders. But they made it as someone's cheating someone. And now one question I'm going to bring in my head: what does not celebrating Black History Month have to fuck to do with DUI? DEI. I keep saying DUI because
DUI is
I know what it is. Yeah, thank you. But what does that have to do with DEI? Why can't you celebrate other parts of America? Because we're all one whole. We're all pieces of one. And that's the thing that pisses me off. West Point, in order to follow Trump's edicts, got away rid of all clubs that weren't like the Vietnamese club or people of racist club that get together, because it promotes what? It doesn't promote anything. It's not exclusive. People have common things in your culture. It's in your culture to hang with other people. I mean, trust me, I miss a good Mexican barbecue since I'm in California. God, I miss that. I mean, and I miss that. And the point is, they have perverted the best thing about America is that we're all fucking different, but we all are one people. They have perverted it because they think that the world was better in 1955. It was fucking not.
Well, yeah,
not for us.
No, of course they do, because that was pre the Civil Rights Movement. So of course they love that. I mean, let's be real.
But the point is like, we are better people for it. And that's the thing that still will bother me to the day I die from November 5th, the last election, is you guys know better. But you chose this because you got conned, or your hate is too deep on the left and right to do the right thing for America. Now we're watching it come apart, and a lot of you are going, oh, I didn't expect that. Well, FO, dummies.
Well, it's a
lack. This is what we're finding out.
It's a lack of education, Will. That's what it boils down to.
But but if you benefit from something, isn't it common sense, lacking education or not, if someone says, I will do this for you, and it has a plan, as opposed to, I promise this will happen when I magically wave my hand, how stupid do you have to be not to believe one is better than the other? That has nothing to do with education. It's common fucking sense. And I still hang on to that. Yeah, and still hang on to it. Because it came down to, you guys got conned. You got fucking conned. And now the grift is on.
But isn't that hand in hand though? Like, you're not educated, so you got conned.
Except some of them are educated. That's the scary fucking part.
Yes, that is the scary part.
But I think that I'm not. I don't totally agree with that, because I think that some of the people that are educated are just evil or they're racist. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
well,
yeah,
they're
absolutely.
Oh yeah, I mean,
they
Good
don't
point.
think they're racist, but they are. They're that's the simplest way to put it. They're that low level racist where most of the time you couldn't tell it looking at them, talking to them, and then certain things come up and it's like boom, it's right there.
right?
that goes for latte liberals too. The far left,
Yeah.
I mean, they will deny it, but they are fucking racist too. I'm
that's
sorry,
Yes,
you
they
are.
are.
I don't disagree with
Absolutely.
that.
No, but
But
yeah, no, and I get it, and it gets in the way of things. And that's, but I always thought we would be better than that. I mean, everything that we went through in the '60s, in the '70s, in the '80s, I thought we would get better. We were getting better, and one thing I will regret to the day one day I die. No, Dean, liberals are not far left. I'm talking about really far left. Jill Stein voters. That's where I'm at. Okay, sorry about that. I saw you. That's just a bad. That's a term for the far left I use. That's something that Reverend Sharpton uses. But it's just. I thought we were better people. I was wrong, and that disturbs me because now it puts my family and my kids at risk of what future we have left. Because right now we're at the beginning. They're ripping apart the government, thinking they're going to build something better. They won't. We're not. I mean, what we're going to do in 2 weeks? I'll have a concept of a plan. What are you going to do is better? There's nothing better. The thing about it is that people are beginning to realize that government is fucking complex. It is complex. And the reason to get your check for Social Security goes through a lot of steps. And when you have one man standing in front of the paywall, you're fucked. It's simple as that. And the people are beginning to find out. This is just crazy. And he was Oliver's mom. He was here earlier. You missed him about a half hour ago. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Missed that. But this is, we keep talking about maybe we're beating it to death and some people are tired of hearing about it, but I can't say we can't be silent either.
Oh, you got to
Because I
speak
think
up
it,
every day.
because I think it bugs them. Because the comments I get from Trump-a-fucks, they're not even intellectual defense. They're just nasty, which tells me I bugged the fuck out of you. Something I said disturbed you. So I must be on the right track, I guess.
Oh,
I'm not going to, and I'm not going to
anytime
change.
you can live, anytime you
But
can
so
live rent free in a MAGA's head, go for it.
And the thing about it is, you have. If I hear one more time, Trump delusion syndrome. Look, I don't want to think about the motherfucker anymore. I really didn't want to, but we had to because let's be honest, that guy's crazy. He is crazy. Anyone who tells me different is basically he is Howard Hughes with power. And all his people around him are boosting him up. And that's scary. Because all these things about Canada and Mexico and Panama, that's a madman.
And the
honestly.
deportations and stuff, yeah.
And his people around him are taking advantage of him and pushing us to the limit because they're hoping that he drops dead and they can slide in and take it all. So
Tim, we're not fear mongering. If I could interject, the problem is that yes, you are right. Trump is not able to do a lot of the things he's trying to do, but it doesn't matter. Like with the deportations, even if he doesn't actually deport a single one of these people, if they stop showing up to work, we're in trouble. With the tariffs, even if he doesn't tariff a single thing, if Canada says we're going to boycott X, Y, and Z, that fucks us. It doesn't matter that Trump wasn't able to do what he said if there's a repercussion on the other end anyways.
Hey, Eddie, I don't have any sympathy about that.
I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just,
No,
yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. Like, if these people are terrorized by Donald Trump to not show up to work and not go out and pick the fruits and vegetables and all these things, and our grocery stores have no shit on the shelves, fuck them. Like these motherfuckers that fucking voted for Trump,
Oh
they
yeah,
need to feel
agree
the
with you
pain.
completely.
They need to feel the fucking pain that we're all feeling. And it's the only way
Gotcha, yeah.
anything's going to change in this fucking country is if they feel the fucking pain that we all feel.
And they're
I'm just hoping
already
that does the trick.
changing. Yeah, but they already changed the narrative on the Republican side is in order to serve the great leader, you must feel pain. Your pain will benefit him
Oh, because
and
it's
the
a cult.
country.
That's what cults do.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah, but
I mean,
but that propaganda is only going to go so far. When they can't feed their families, do you think they're going to stick around for that? I mean, come on now. And
the most hardcore will.
yeah.
But I hear you,
But,
TJ.
Will, that's 30% of the population, right? Eventually, the ones that voted for Trump, they're going to have buyer's remorse, and they're already having buyer's remorse. And furthermore, JD Farmer's in the chat here, and he knows, and I know that the farmers are already getting fucked because USAID
Oh yes.
got diminished, and all the food that gets sent to these countries that get USAID money is bought from American farmers, and they're all getting fucked now. And JD knows it. We know it. Everybody knows it. And the tariffs are going to fucking bone. The tariffs with China are going to bone the farmers. And what's Donald Trump going to do? Is he going to bail them out again? I doubt it. What's he got to lose? What's he got to lose?
Yeah, and also it's also but the idea that the Constitution is, I'm going to say it, sacred to me. And I mean it in the sense that I believe in this country. And everyone can laugh at me or say like that, but I always believed in this country. Always have. Because it's been good. It's been good to me. It's been good to my family. I did what I was told to work hard and get stuff to get what you want. The system was there to support me when I fell. That's what it should do. But right now, I'm watching it being taken apart by two men. Yeah. And no one is fucking stopping them because it's wrong and unconstitutional. And they are ignoring the Constitution because they believe that no one will stop them. So I'm going to bottom line this in the end. If it gets really bad, it's not that there will be martial law or there'll be some fascist state from sea to sea. No, it will be riots and civil war. Because I'll tell you, California, Washington, where Ms. Suave is from, New York, Pennsylvania, those states that can support themselves are not going to put up with it. Especially California. There is going to be a whole mess that they don't understand. They think everyone's capitulating. We will not capitulate to that.
California.
And I hope.
California is circulating a petition right now to succeed from the rest of the states to become its own country.
They could do it. They have
absolutely, and it's gaining traction.
And the fires that happened in Los Angeles, while Trump was basically fucking over everyone there, Canada and Mexico showed up in mass. You know why? The state of California has a separate trade agreement with Canada and Mexico.
Right.
They have separate agreements. So separating from the federal government makes sense for them.
Yeah,
hell, there was
the Trumplefucks tried to lie about the fire trucks coming from Washington State or Mexico or
Oregon.
wherever else. They tried to lie and say that they were denied access because they didn't pass emissions. It was a total fucking lie. They had a regular safety inspection that they had to get to come into California because fire trucks are not rated to travel huge distances on highways. They're not built for that. So they had to have a regular safety inspection, and all the Trump fucks said they got denied because they didn't pass the emissions test in California. It's a bunch of bullshit.
I know.
It was a total
And the thing
fucking
about it is
lie.
that, and just to kind of piggyback on that, Mexico showed up and they brought military helicopters for help. It was a fucking unbelievable move, and they did it like in 24 hours. And you want to go to war with Mexico? Unless you're willing to bomb the country out of existence, good luck with that. That's all I got to say. Good luck with it.
Like
So, I mean, hell.
Mexicans fight cartels all the time. It's like there's
Yep.
some pretty tough motherfuckers.
But that's the thing. I don't see what a lot of people and a lot of creators here talk about. That is that A, we're not built like that, and B, people will go into their own corners. Before that happens, there will be a civil war. There's no, and two, there's not enough U.S. military to conquer the United States for Trump.
No.
No. And a lot of those aren't going to take those orders. And you think you're going to roll across California?
Well,
Oh
you
I
have
mean,
no,
to,
there's
it's
going
like
to
the
be
whole
people.
military will side with California. Anybody that's in the military in Washington would side with Washington.
yeah, you have to
And I don't.
divide the
Go ahead.
military in half. So what do we have? 2 million active, something like that. You have to divide that number in half.
Yeah, there's not enough. And let's. I mean, and people go, well, the local police will come. You know what?
No,
In cities in LA and all that, the local police don't want to mess with that either.
no.
I mean, you might have it in small shit towns, but most of those are in fucking bumfuck Egypt and in the South, and they're fucked up anyway. And they're going to go along with the program. The thing that what I'm saying is, it's not that they can do it or force us to capitulate, is that it would break this country. It would break this country, and that I do not want, because the beauty of this country is that pieces are a whole.
Hey,
Pieces are a whole.
hey, can I bring something up real quick?
Sure,
TikTok is doing something weird that I haven't seen before.
sure.
So I've been watching the chat, and some of the comments in the chat come up, and JD Farmer just had a comment, and his comment was there, and then at the end of the comment, it had a little eye, like an eyeball, with a line through it. So I kept seeing that, and I pressed on it, and it says, "Do you approve this comment?" And I said, it's JD, so it was a legit comment. So I said yes. And then these things keep coming up. Like TikTok is like they're silencing comments to make sure that they're, I guess, approved in this forum, which is kind of weird because like all the ones that I keep seeing getting this eyeball thing are our friends, not
Mm-hmm.
our enemies. So that's just a weird point that I want to bring up. That
Well,
Yeah, I get shut down on TikTok a lot, especially in my comments. I have to really watch myself.
it,
I mean, I get it, but a lot of my I just appeal. A lot of my appeals get approved.
me too.
And yeah, ladies, J62, if they're watching, hi. You seen my comments? You seen my videos? Hi. I mean,
It's just
I
weird though
mean,
because the ones that get flagged like that are our friends. But the one like these dickheads that come in here, the Trump fucks and all these fucks,
hmm,
none of them have that fucking tag on it. You know, they'll say something egregious and they don't get that thing, but our friends in here do, which is fucking bullshit.
yeah, I understand. And it's, you know what? That's why we just scream louder and keep poking them.
Well,
They don't like it. Um,
I can tell you
it's
one thing for sure.
yes,
Every
sir.
single time I see that with one of our friends, I'm clearing it every fucking time.
Oh, I appreciate that, TJ. But see, that's we're right now where we're at. All of us that follow me or TJ, it's Miss Suave, Eddie, all you guys. we know that I don't know how long this app's got another 60 days, 10. How many days we got left on this app before it goes away to Dodo for sure?
Well,
50,
I don't
60,
remember.
something like that.
60. Yeah, there's not going to be any sale. We know that. I know that. We're on borrowed time. This is dead app walking.
we can go to
Okay.
Clapper. It's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah,
Blue
Clapper.
Sky
Yeah.
will be ready by then.
I tried Clapper. I'm not. You know, I'm not against it. It's not. It's not bad.
Yeah. And so,
Clunky,
well, but I haven't been to it. TJ, he said it's clunky. Is that right?
It's a little clunky, but it's not bad. It operates the same way as TikTok, but I just feel like the algorithm isn't as good. But
Right.
it's not horrible. Like we could deal with it, and I kind of feel
Hey
like
guys, I gotta go walk the dog. We'll see you later. Have a good
Thank you,
night.
Miss Suave. I'll catch you on the back end, brother.
You
Be
bet.
safe.
Bye bye, bro.
Bye.
like I said, I feel like the app or the algorithm is a little clunky, but like it's not horrible. It operates the same way as TikTok, basically. Um, and I think that as time goes on, if TikTok goes away and people jump onto Clapper, I think that it will improve. You know, the algorithm will improve as time goes on. It'll become a little bit more not as clunky and more like TikTok. But functionality, it operates almost the same exact way.
Okay. Well, at least then it will be familiar if we get there. Look, this has been a fun. It's getting close to my time, 11:06, and I have a 10:30 morning training session. So it's fun to answer Oliver's mom. You'll find me, and I believe Mike the Rational Bloomer too. I'll be here, Binder 38 US, YouTube, Binder 38 US, Blue Sky, and Slack. What is it? Slacker? Slack? Someone help me. Having a bad day today. The one with the what do they call it? Not it's damn. Yeah, I'm having one of those old man moments. Substack. Thank you. Whoever put that in the comments. Appreciate it. Substack. At Binder 38 US. You can find us all there. We're not going anywhere. TJ's probably got the same thing for you, TJ, with all your stuff.
I'm on Substack.
Your where to find you.
Yeah, I'm around.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, yeah, I'm around too. YouTube is like trying to get through jelly, but it is what it is, and I'll keep doing it to do it because I got
pissed at YouTube too as well.
Yeah, and now so I just keep doing my stuff. What happens? A lot of this, and I'm surprised people follow me, and I appreciate it. Thank you. I've made a lot of good friends here. I do this for my psychological moments because sometimes this bullshit is too much, and I have to say something. But I appreciate everyone who's following it. Pushing 3,200 followers, which is great. Thank you. I appreciate it. But thank you for coming out to the live. I appreciate Mike popping in. Just so you know, Mike and I are going to do his podcast. I'm going to sit down with him tomorrow, and you'll probably see that on Wednesday or Thursday, whenever he puts it up. But you guys, thank you for spending time with us. TJ, thank you for killing Trumplefucks. Same thing for JD, thank you very much. You guys, much appreciated. You guys have a good rest of the night. Be safe, and remember, this ain't over. And regardless of what happens, I think history will still be on our side. Period. In discussion. All right, gentlemen, take care. Be safe out there. Don't let them get you.
Okay. Good night.
Take care. Good night, guys. Take care.